Hello, everybody. Hope y'all are doing good out there. First off, I wanted to thank all of y'all who have joined in with me in this 18 pattern challenge. I've been really surprised and just kind of overwhelmed with the amount of people who have decided to join in on this 18 pattern challenge. What I've especially enjoyed the most is a lot of the commenters, those faithful commenters on YouTube that I get to talk to all the time and that I enjoy talking to, who have posted pictures of what they're carrying and so on, when they normally don't really do a bunch of YouTube videos or anything like that, but they've taken time to not just carry the 18 pattern for the challenge, but to put some pictures up on YouTube of the one they're carrying. I've really enjoyed that. So thank you to all of y'all. All y'all who've joined in this challenge, whether you make videos regularly or whether you're just doing it here and there, or whether you're just doing it for this challenge. Thanks. It's really nice to see all the participation. That, to me, is what makes this whole knife community fun. You know, it's not the knives themselves. Knives are tools. What makes it fun is that other people enjoy it with you, and that you all can work through it together, and you can trade with other people, you can sell to other people, you can buy from other people, you can repair. That's what makes this whole thing fun, and I want to thank you all for joining in this challenge. So in this video, I thought it would be fun to take a look at my 18 pattern collection and tell the history of where I got them. I'll try not to make this video too long, but I'm also not going to rush with it. As of the current time, I happen to have 5 18 pattern knives. I've had more than that, but I've traded them off and kept the 5 that I've liked the best. So I think I'm going to talk about these in the order in which I bought them. So the first 18 pattern I ever owned was this one right here. And this one is the yellow Delrin 18 pattern, as is so common and so popular, and as is just a classic. You know, this is a classic case knife right here. When I first started with case knives and so on, I didn't like the 18 pattern because I did not like the shape of this main California clip blade. I didn't like the way it looked, and so I didn't plan on ever getting one. Well, I had had some wild luck where that I had bought an old-timer, it was their USA Generational Series Bruin. You know, they still make it. It's got that brownish bone handle on it. It's got 1095 carbon steel blades. It looks like a backlock sodbuster. Well, I had bought that, got it on sale, and I opened it and closed it a few times, and the back spring broke on it. I mean, I'm talking, I didn't have it out of the box for like 5 minutes before the back spring broke. And I went and looked on the reviews, and lots of other people were having the same problem. So I had to send that knife back. Well, I was still looking for a small lock back. So I decided I'd try Bear & Son, and I got their small lock back. I don't remember the model number. It has the rosewood handles on it and the clip blade on it. Looks like a small Buck 110, basically. And so that came in. And I pulled it out, and it was so badly built that the back lock didn't even lock the blade into position. And you could wiggle it left and right a ton, the blade. It was absolutely awful. I mean, it was so bad that I sent that one back too. And, you know, we had taken it and dropped it off at the store to send it back. And on the way home, I was with my mom, and I said, can we swing in the pawn shop? She'd never been to that particular pawn shop. So she said, okay, and we swung down there. And I went inside, and she sat in this rocking chair that was over there by the door, and I went on to look at the knives. And when I looked in, I looked just seeing if he had anything new. He had this in there. And I really liked the yellow Delrin from Case. I had the Trapper and the Peanut and the Sodbuster in yellow at this time. And I also had the, I had the Mini Copper Lock in yellow at this time. And he had this particular knife in there. And now it had no patina on it at the time. It had not been used like it has now. You can see this is a CV knife. But you can see here that this knife's made in 2020. Now, if I remember right, this was either early 2022 or late 2021. I believe it was early 2022. But this knife had no patina on it, and as you can see, even today, you can see the blades are fully intact. So this knife was basically perfect when he had it there, and I saw it, and I thought, well, I picked it up. I thought, well, I don't especially love the 18 pattern, but I wanted a case Stockman at that time, and the price was right on this one. These are normally 50 something to $60 new, and all said and done, I believe I got it for 37 out the door after tax and everything. So I got it for a real good buy, and this was the first 18. But what I found was when I put it in my pocket, it worked really good. The blades worked excellent on it. The blade shapes, it was comfortable in the hand. It was ergonomic. It rode well in the pocket. I had a blade shape for any task I might want to do. I grew to, of course, really like the sheep's foot blade, as you'll hear from anybody who carries a Stockman. These sheep's foot blades are such good user blades, especially for draw cuts and such as that. And I've also grown to really like this California clip blade. Now, I know this is still controversial, and this is the biggest thing people have against the 18, but I'm going to tell you briefly what changed my mind. I might do a full video on this. First off, the blade shape makes it slice better than a standard clip. And second off, it sets down in the handle farther, so it doesn't leave a hot spot when you're using your sheep's foot blade. So it's extremely ergonomic and comfortable. And the 18 pattern is truly designed with the sheep's foot blade being the main blade. And you can tell that by how it sets up like that. That's so it's easy to grab and pinch open if you should need to. So this was the first 18 I picked up, and we had some rabbits at the time, and we had a lot of peaches that year on our trees. And I remember feeding the rabbits peaches, and I used this knife to cut up a lot of the peaches for the rabbits. And so that's a memory that goes along with this knife. You'll have to excuse any wind noise. I don't know why the wind is picked up. Now, I no longer have the second 18 pattern that I picked up. I traded it away. It was a 6.5 318 with the bone stag on it, stainless steel. It was a 2018 or 2019. I don't remember which. I got it from the same pawn shop. It was new in the box. I got it for a real good buy, like $30 under going price. And I kept it, but I just never really used that knife. Although it was nice, it had the smoothest opening and closing blades out of any 18 I've ever seen, or any case knife for that matter. It was buttery smooth. But I didn't use it. I always grabbed that yellow one, so I traded it off a while back for that blue rust lock that I got. So that was my second one, but I no longer have it. Now the third one that I picked up would be this red bone 18, and this is going to be one of the most popular and most common 18 patterns that we've been seeing in this challenge. This is their corncob jig red bone, some of the prettiest bone handles I think out of any that Case has ever made. And what makes this one unique is that it has a standard clip point instead of the California clip point like most 18s will. And a lot of people, as I said, don't like the California style clip point. And they much prefer this standard clip point, and so that leads them to get this red version. There are some other versions that have this standard clip, namely the lizard skin. There's a few others, but they're kind of rare and kind of hard to find. But that's the biggest thing that makes this red one unique, is that it has a different shaped main blade on it. And this is the same main blade that might be found in the 032 Stockman. This one is in stainless steel. You can see there it's 2002. Now, I got this one for real good buy. I think I paid $2 more for this one than I did this yellow one, but it was like 2 years later. And I had to do some work on this one because it had a politician's name, as I've said before, on the blade. I guess it was used as a campaign knife, and it made the knife look super ugly, so he'd had a hard time selling it down at the pawn shop. But I was able to buff that off, and this is truly a beautiful knife. And y'all know I really like the red bone knives, and so this red bone knife fit my red bone collection good. Got an ant right there on that 2x4. What do you expect when your filming desk is a 2x4 laid on a straw bale behind a shed? Nevertheless, now there's one 18 that I no longer have that I'll talk about at the end, and I got it in here somewhere, but I don't remember in between which it was, but I no longer have that one. But the next one that I still have that I got is this amber bone. Now, I did more work to this knife than any knife that I've ever found. I didn't realize quite how much work it needed when I found it, but boy did it. But nevertheless, it cleaned up really good. I traded a white case medium Stockman. It was a smooth synthetic white with a black shield on it. I traded that for this one. Now, the action needed cleaned out. I had to do a lot of work on that. This blade was bent. The tip wasn't broken off, but it was badly bent. So I fixed that. I centered the main blade, which of course is an easy thing to do. But nevertheless, I did a lot of work on this one. But it turned out to be an absolutely beautiful knife. The amber bone in this one is very, I don't know what to say, it's very glossy or something. It's really interesting. I like the way it looks a lot. It's very unique. But this again is a stainless steel knife. This one was made in 2001. I've got a lot of knives from 2001 for some reason. But it's the same basic blades with the California clip as this yellow one has, just it's stainless steel like the red one, and it has these amber bone handles. Now, I have managed to get an 18 in most of the handle materials I really like. Some of my favorite handle materials are going to be a yellow Delrin, the red bone, amber bone, and my next favorite's going to be the blue bone. And that's the next one I picked up here. I also traded for this one right here. I traded an orange persimmon peach seed jig Sodbuster Jr. Stainless steel. I traded it for this knife right here. But this one fits the blue bone. I had got a few blue bone knives at that time, and this one fit the collection. This is beautiful. I love these blue bone knives. They look so good. You got your bow tie with your Case USA badge in it. And it's neat on these blue bone. They all vary a whole lot from each other, but you'll get this light white color and this light blue. Almost looks like a sky. Also, these knives are left squarer than other knives on the edges and so on. The Case leaves them square, which is very interesting compared to some of the others which they round off. That ant's got on my finger there somehow. It's amazing what an ant can do. Nevertheless, let's see here. It's going to have the same California clip blade, which again I've said I've grown to love. But you'll notice there is a slight difference between it and this amber bone one. And that's just because of the year difference. You'll notice that amber bone one has a cant to it. See how it cants downwards? Where this blue bone comes straight out of the handle. It's going to be hard to showcase that, but y'all can probably see it just by looking at it there, that the amber bone cants downward. Also, you'll notice the nail nick's in a slight different place. Year-wise, this one right here, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. That makes this a 2014. This one's a really just perfect knife. Check out the tip on that sheep's foot. That's how it's supposed to be. This knife really wasn't used any. All I really had to do was polish and buff this blue one up. But it's a really nice one. It might be the nicest 18 I have. It's just really beautiful knife. But again, I got this one used, traded for it, and did a lot of buffing on it. So far, I've got every one of these knives from the exact same pawn shop, whether I was buying or whether I was trading. So we got one more 18 to look at. And then I'll talk about the one I no longer have. This one right here. I believe this is a burnt indigo. I believe is what they called this. But nevertheless, it's a corncob jig. It's like a blue that they have burned, and it's got some green in it. It's really pretty. Got a beautiful handle on it. This is the last 18 that I've got. Classic California clip blade there. Also, you can see this is a 2018 model. Stainless steel. I like it has the arrowhead badge. Then we got our sheep's foot blade, 6318. Again, same story as the others, just a different handle. But this one's more rounded than our blue 18 is. I got this one at a different pawn shop in a nearby town. They had it sitting there, and it was real dirty, needed buffed up and cleaned, and they had a real good buy on it. And I paid like $40 for this one out the door. So all these 18s, I haven't spent over $45 on any 18 I've ever. Wait a minute, I take that back. The only one I spent over $40 on was the one I traded off. So yeah, these are my current 18s. Let me go into the story of the one I traded off. So a while back, at the same pawn shop I bought the first 4 at, he had got in at 18, had the box with it if I remember right, and it was a jade bone 18 pattern, had an arrowhead shield, and it was just an absolutely beautiful knife. And it had like a peach seed jig on it, and the jigging was real deep, and it was just a really beautiful knife. And I got that one from him, and I paid, I think, $50 for that one. But the thing about it was it had the box with it. It had never been used, but it had an insignia on the blade, where that somebody had put that insignia on the blade. It was for a coal company. I don't even remember the name of the coal company now, but it was on the blade. But anyways, it was a 2003, the way I remember it. I've got a video of it on my YouTube Shorts if you go back a long way. Nevertheless, I'd got that one, and I had it for a while, and I ended up trading that one for that blue denim mini copper lock that I have. And y'all will probably remember that one. It was a blue denim mini copper lock. It had the I can't think of the word for it right now, but it had the scrolls and the bolsters, or it had the fluted bolsters. That's the word. It had the brass shield on it. So I traded that knife for that mini copper lock, and carried that mini copper lock for a while, restored it, cleaned it up, and I ended up trading that mini copper lock off with another knife. I traded those two off for that Pearl Eisenhower that I have, that mother of pearl knife. And so that's kind of the story of what happened to the other 18 Stockman. But yeah, these are the current 18 Stockmans that I have. I've carried the yellow one more than any other. My favorite to carry is probably this red one, but I like all these. They all fit in the collection well, and I got a good buy on all of them, and they're all great knives. I think 18 pattern Stockmans are built so sturdy that they're some of the best long-lasting knives you could buy from Case. They're such sturdy knives. So I'll go ahead and widen this video up. I don't know how I tend to make all my videos so long. I reckon it's probably because I talk too much. Nevertheless, thank you for everybody who's joining in this challenge. Y'all have a good day. Keep your knives sharp.